Hold up. I think we got it. Okay. Chat, sound off. Can you guys hear me? I think I'm streaming now. Still loading on the YouTube end, but according to OBS, I'm live. Can you guys hear me? Darn it. No, sorry, Daniel. Okay, Phoenix, you can hear me. Daniel, you can hear me. Drama, you can hear me. Aaron, you can hear me. Okay, well, sounds like everyone can hear me. So happy Monday, everybody. Good to be here with you guys. Just me tonight. No 2-8, so we probably won't go quite as long. Just because between the two of us, we tend to yap, just arguing. By the way, Watch Party says hi. Oh yeah, I saw everyone was chilling in the night boat. Remind me, Lehman, Root, Prima, yada yada. You're Deadeye Henry on Discord, right? Daniel, used figures, huh? Yes. So I'm not going to name the comic store just because that is one step to giving away my geographical location. So, yeah, I won't be revealing the name for safety and privacy concerns, but I will just say the comic store got a new haul of used figures in. So we stopped over there today. 2-8 bought 2 figures. I bought 7 figures because I found a lot of cool ones that felt used but like new. And they were mostly Siege figures that I've always wanted to pick up. But let's catch up with the chat. Okay, Lehman. Yes, okay, you're Deadeye Henry. Okay, I'll remember that. Hey, Shocky, CJ, what's up? Just finished a recreation of TFP episode Nemesis Prime. I love TFP recreations. I also got used figures, well, mainly 2. Hi, Shocky. Hello, Phoenix. Hello, CJ. That's cool. How are you? I'm doing well, Phoenix. I'm doing pretty well. The week has just started, and I've already spent almost $180 on figures. So, not a TF question. How are we feeling about the Doomsday trailer? It looks cool, but it also feels like, you know how it feels when you were a kid, you took your most random action figures and you made them fight because you wanted to, and you tell like your siblings or your friends, it's for the plot, it's for the plot. There's a convoluted reason why they have to fight, but it's really just because little kid you has always wanted to see Iron Man fight Raphael, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That's what it feels like. Hello there, Ultron Studios, General Kenobi. JJ Prime, hey JJ, welcome in. Aaron, love Sparks of War video. Oh, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. How do you make scenarios for your videos? You know, I've tried answering this question a lot in my Discord. It boils down to I don't know. I watch a lot of movies, and then I just lie in my bed and pore over ideas, usually from a character-based perspective. I really couldn't tell you in a step-by-step formula how my brain works enough that you could replicate the same videos, if that makes sense. I probably could not lead you on my runaway railway of thought well enough to fully explain that. I completed my missions to get Onslaught. Now I gotta wait and hope I don't get scammed by a certain Jeep. Iron Man is peak, though. True. I have a lot of critical feelings to the trailer for sure. I'm sure you do, Shocky. Honestly, I'd love to hear him sometime. Any Marvel figures? No, I stopped collecting Marvel a long time ago. 2-8 got a new Black Series for display-only purposes, and we determined Black Series has gotten so cheap, we're no longer interested in picking up any more of them. Not that we were necessarily collecting them before, but that's just further cemented why we aren't collecting them anymore. You got a new bed frame with shelves. Yeah, don't drop Superion on your head. That's a bad idea, Deadeye. Wait, how would they bring the Avengers back? All the good cast left or was written out as dead. The multiverse. I'm planning on going to SCCC 2026 thanks to a friend of my mom's. Friend of your mom, honestly. I'm definitely gonna check back in on the SDCC stream every once in a while. I want to see if they revealed the Studio Series Comic Edition Nautica. Simple, Phoenix. Use the multiverse as an excuse to bring back Scarlett Johansson and the rest. Well, for real universe reasons, they can't bring back Scarlett Johansson because she sued them over the Black Widow stuff. Is my comments registering? Prince, this is the first comment of yours I've seen. I'll be honest with you. So if you were commenting beforehand, it went into the void. Speaking of Superion, I just had Silverbolt come in. He's pretty good. Yeah, I like Superion, honestly. He's good. He's better than Motormaster, which was the first combiner center I got. Hello, hey, welcome Ali. This is one of our OG members as well, but welcome in Ali. Daniel, I'm mainly gonna try and get either Armanemi or a Gem Blaster who has Rosanna. I think that's the Kiss Players one. I'm not 100% off the top of my head. Hi, Al. Wait, ads? Oh my gosh, are there mid Soundwave ads? Why? Hang on. Let me click the ads, and maybe it won't play you guys ads. Curse you, ad. Superior in defense for my beloved. Soundwave, you ad machine. Okay, I clicked delay the ads. Hopefully that'll put them off and you guys won't see them. I will be adding ads to the playback, just because I need some way to make money off the stream. But I'll try to keep the ads from interrupting you guys too much while we're live. The true crime of the Decepticons. Ads. Eat the ads. Alright, well, I'm gonna switch over to my studio cam here, which currently just looks like that. So in 2-8's absence, he has given me permission to show off the figures he bought briefly. I'm not going to spend too long talking about them because like they're decent figures and I'll probably use them for my stop motion. But to me, they're not going to be first. So we've never been able to find him at Target, but I will say Morbid Curiosity got the best of 2A, and he bought an 86 Astro Train at the comic store, new in box. This was the only one that wasn't used, was this 86 Astro Train. But I mean, he's neat, honestly. He's a very weird figure, but he's kind of neat at the same time. Like, he has the decent articulation you would expect of like a Voyager to leader class size figure. His train mode and shuttle mode are hard to get into, but actually extremely photogenic, I think more so than his robot mode. Color apps are really nice, simplistic, but that's pretty par for the course with 86. So if you were trying to get them all to match, they do all match very nicely. But yeah, let's see. Is it just me or I can't see the camera? Oh my gosh, black screen. Oh. The camera is showing on my end. Hang on. Let me activate and deactivate the camera. Activate or deactivate. And Wonder Twin Powers, activate. Okay. Sound off, guys. Can you see it now? Can you see an 86 Astro Train staring you down? Let me refresh stream to BRB. We're blind. No, sorry. No. Okay. So I'm gonna exit out of the app I've been using on my phone, and then I'm gonna go back into the app and see if that fixes. Okay. Let's try that. Is that working out better for you guys? The stream is plain black. Ah, no. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is try and delete the C. Are we blind? Deploy the cameras. Okay, I'm gonna remove the source and re-add the source in OBS, and hopefully that will fix it. Let's see. Uh, okay, hang on. Oh, ads, you cruel bastards. No, not again. Okay, I need to put in the Wi-Fi IP real quick. Come on. Come on, nobody. Work your magic. Soundwave's doing this just to troll us, Chronic fans. Soundwave, please stand by. Stand by. Yeah, I'm gonna put you back on logo screen while or no, I can't do that apparently. I can't put you on logo screen while I'm also editing this thing. Refresh the device list. Aha. Back to my phone. Okay. Okay. We reactivated it. All right. Is Astro Train glaring at you? Sound off in the chat. Nope. Oh, come on. I don't understand. Okay. Is it a tab thing? Like if I switch my tab to show YouTube, can you see that? Like, are you seeing my channel page right now? Wait. Hold up. I think I know what it is. Okay, I'm gonna refresh my YouTube live and see if that works. Are you seeing a loading stream right now? Well, actually, that doesn't matter. I'm just using that to make sure the stream works. Ad blockers don't work on YouTube anymore, Phoenix. Well, as a monetized YouTube creator, I definitely cannot tell you that the Pi ad blocker has still been working for certain creators, wink, wink, and has some of the best targeted ad block. Seeing it's an HD color. I have eyes again. Okay, so it is a little laggy, but that's okay. At least you all can see. The baby steps, people. Oh no, lag wave. Blink, blink. Okay, let's see. If I switch cameras, now can we see Astro Train glaring? Yep, I was just lazy and didn't install it in the scout. My eyes! The YouTube page is on light mode. Ew! Okay, you know what? But my stuff looks better when the background is on light mode because all of my thumbnails are black. Oh gosh dang it, the lag. There he is! Okay, so we can all see Astro Train just posing up. There's that goob. Yes. Okay, I don't know if Stealthabot will make it into the chat tonight, but let it be shown for the record that I do agree with Stealthabot that the alt modes are good and the robot mode is just okay. It's not. It didn't break into my house and murder my family, but it also didn't cure my depression or anything crazy. Like, this mode exists. We all really want him for the alt modes, I think. And I'm a head range of motion girly. He doesn't have a lot. He's got a little bit if you kind of move it there. But I mean, he exists. He's decent. Let's see. I wish I was blind again. I hate that figure. Who are you looking at, Astro Train? I should whip his tail. Get that look off your face. Arms are a little skinny for me. Yeah, that's what my sister said. She said, and I quote, "He is a T-Rex." The one time we can appreciate 86 Astro Train. I weirdly like Astro Train here. Hey, his name is Stealth. He's here. We just can't see him. I'm so glad I kept my Siege one. Message retracted. What'd you retract, Prince? Wait, toys can do that? Nervously glances at Hulk. This was based on like a meme I saw somewhere where it's like, I get 86 Astro Train isn't the best figure to ever happen, but you're acting like it broke into your house and murdered your family. Y'all can appreciate the trash can on screen. I will appreciate the other figure she shows off. Proportional issues are terrible. Personally, doesn't line up with what I want for a figure. That's fair. And that's honestly why I didn't buy this. I mean, he's decent. He's not something I'd spend my money on, but since it's 2-8 spending his money on it, he spends his money on what he will. I cannot unsee this Astro Train as anything other than female. You know? For a character that's supposed to be male and also a chunky shuttle, he does have a shockingly feminine shape. He's got a well-endowed chest region. He has a very slender midsection. And yeah, and honestly, his arms and his legs also tend towards the slender, which is weird because usually Hasbro struggles so much with making actual female Transformers slender and still transformable. But then this male Transformer can somehow look closer to a fembot and still transform into a proper vehicle than other fembots. Except T-Rexes have smaller arms. True. I cannot see. Okay, female nervously glances at every Wolverine I own. Yeah, he's definitely gonna kill your family. If you're not gonna make the figure accurate to the movie or show, at least make it look good and cool. Bro is very feminine and slim-waisted. He's femme-maxing. At least he had the nips put away on like the product images. Oh, I know. I got a feeling Nightbird is just gonna be a basic repaint. I mean, fair. I'll forgive this Astro Train if he can shoot Hot Rod for me. Okay, no, he will not shoot Hot Rod for you. Maybe female version of Astro Train. Maybe Astro Train didn't take its energon proteins. I won't reveal too much of it, but I know I am. Wait, I don't. Actually, is it out? I don't actually remember if it's out. Like, my voice is in so many places now. Hi, Jackman. Hi, Sideswipe. Uh, but, uh, but I recorded a voice like a few months ago for an Astro Train short film as Astro Train's girlfriend. That basically she's not like a canon person. She's like an OC for that particular film. But basically, what I did is I just kind of got into like that sort of nasally, like 80s inspired kind of voice, that kind of like soft and kind of up in the top of your throat voice, like how the usual ladies of the 80s are. They sound so soft and innocent. And then I added the obnoxious Astro Train echoes over it. So that honestly might be what a female Astro Train sounds like. What a coincidence, it was an Astro Train film, lol. Yeah. Actually, low-key, I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna look that up on my page, on my YouTube real quick, and then I'm gonna show it to you guys. No, wait. No, wait, I forgot his channel got hacked, so he has a new one. If I can remember. If I can remember. I'm on his server. I can just get the channel link that way. Oh, yeah. Let's try that. I don't know if he's uploaded it. If he hasn't yet, then I'm not going to spoil any more about the role. But let me look that up. The search engine's loading, so in the meantime, I'm going to check up on the chat. He definitely doesn't look good next to Blitzy. Not a big fan, but at least there's some is some paint on the front. I might pick it up right now, but no. I want to get that Ash train. Connie's making fun of the fembot voices in G1. Yes, the closest one to like an actual character's voice was Alita, and that's just because I think to make her sound more on par with Optimus in terms of the way their voices sounded, she had kind of a huskier, deeper voice. It still had that soft quality to it, but it had a slightly more grounded undertone to match the general rumble of Optimus's voice and sort of match them in vocal age, so to speak. Not even fembots, lol, just 80s actresses. Are you planning to watch the re-release of 86? Yes, I wanna grab my friend and go see it. We just have to make sure it's a day where we're both off work because we're working odd schedules. But that would be the plan, is for the two of us to go see it. Because I took her to see Transformers 1 and it was freaking awesome. So I definitely want to see the 86 movie with her. And we've both seen the movie before, but I still think it'll be a fun experience. Let me see if my search engine finished loading. Oh my gosh. Is it in the creator's bio on? It is not. Hang on. Da, 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 da. Is it announcements? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to find his channel. Oh, that's right. Jade Pulse Films is what he calls his new channel now. So let's see. No, I'm forcing you to watch Astro Train while I search this. Someone say Optimus voice. Oh, you're so doing that, aren't you, Striker? You're gonna put that somewhere in the Discord chat. I want to get the Power of Prime's Alita because it does fit with 86 Prime. It scales so well. Yeah, it does bounce off pretty well. Prime and Alita's voices. Power of Prime's Alita is amazing. I wish the stickers were paint. Yeah, something about seeing it in theater. Cronny, what's your top favorite Transformers movies out of all of them? Okay, well, in order, I'm gonna go, and this is gonna be pretty lukewarm take. I would say Transformers 1, uh, Dark of the Moon, and then '07 and 86 are fighting for third place. I only complain about an otherwise incredible figure. Fit piss that has decided to be a jerk and block 86 content. Yeah, they'll do that, like when a movie's re-releasing or whatever, like the way they pull all the Spider-Man films off any streaming services before they show new Spider-Man stuff. Like, that's just the way of the world, honestly, which is sad. Oh, wait. Okay, no, the trailer is out for it. The trailer is out for it, so I'll share my screen and I'll show you. So this is Joey JPEG, or he got his channel taken down, uh, and he has no idea why still, but this Tales from Cybertron Season 1 thumbnail showing Astro Train. Yeah, I'm in that as Astro Train's girlfriend. Don't know when that one is coming out, but that's the one I was talking about where I did like basically an effeminate Astro Train, but like also like paying homage to that kind of soft, nasally voice of like a 80s voice actress. But yeah, let's see. Nah, I won't do it. Watching 86 movie in Japanese is so anime coded because Toei Animation is responsible for animating the cartoon and movie. Speaking of Dark of the Moon, I want to see the records because I like their designs and battle mode NASCARs. I honestly couldn't care less about the Dark of the Moon records, but honestly, you do you. Skids and Mudflap. I recently watched The Dark Awakening. I hate streaming services, man. Support Joey, please. Scrap you ad. No! Delay ads, YouTube. Which Transformers film do you think was worse, Age of Extinction or The Last Night? Overall, The Last Night was a worse movie. Age of Extinction had good concepts executed poorly, and the Age of Consent thing needed to be like entirely cut. It was completely unnecessary, but everybody knows that part's unnecessary. What I'm more concerned about is like that was the first movie where I feel like all the Autobots had a distinct personality beyond just Optimus and Bumblebee. And I have my complaints about like Marky Mark like always kind of playing the same character, but I did like his character more than Sam, although I appreciate Sam more now that I'm like the age he was in like Dark of the Moon. And he's like talking about he's talking about his parents are like, "Oh, you still don't have a job?" And I'm like, "Sam, that's relatable these days." But I think overall, Age of Extinction, the greatest disservice it did was to basically reintroduce the Decepticons and then have them do nothing but fight in the background and wait for Onslaught, for not Onslaught, Lockdown to show up and do his big villain thing. Uh, Last night, I don't even remember it being a coherent enough movie to fully understand everything that happened in it. I remember scenes, like the way I remember watching the Ezra Miller Flash movie, like a fever dream that I remember scenes of, but I'd rather not see fully again in my life. I don't know how TLK made it past editing with aspect ratio changes. If Widowmaker gets a role, will she be like a spy, like Wasp? I think she would. I think I would kind of more model her after like the femme fatale spies of like the James Bond era. I feel like the way she's kind of designed, she could get away with like that kind of like flirty but also slightly insufferable type of like villain spy woman. Have one best CGI multiverse scene. That was the worst of a full movie of bad CGI. Last night's it was decent to me. I wish I got Berserker, but I wasn't back in my Transformers phase till Transformers 1 brought it back. Honestly, fair. But I am going to lock back in and keep showing you guys the figures because I've already yapped away for a half an hour, and I don't wanna stay up until midnight tonight. But yeah, 86 Asher Train, he's decent. Glad 2-8 bought him and not me. Um, oh yeah, and meet his giant steam effect. So if your character's ever smoking and they're really smoking up a cloud, you can just like do that. So this is the other figure 2-8 got. I'm actually rather intrigued by this. I think he has good story potential. So the Defensor that we got had Rook because we got the box set. So we got the alternate limb, Combiner Wars Groove. And he's honestly a pretty solid little fella. He's got the classic combiner peg there and the little hand foot thing. Nice big gun. Really nice light piping on the back of his head. Good coloring. Clean. It's got some kibble to it, but enough kibble that it like looks like he transforms into something and not like all the kibble is completely hidden away. But yeah, he's honestly a chill figure, and I think he has good story potential further down the line. I honestly want to make him buddies with Jazz just because I think people with names like Groove and Jazz should have some kind of fun interaction together. Let me check up on chat. AoE had potential, terrible execution. TLK was doomed from the start with it kickstarting the cinematic universe. I remember you had 30th anniversary Roadbuster. I have him, but I gave him that big Autobot symbol on his chest and then threw away the other stickers. 2-8. It's okay. 2-8, when did you get in the chat? What are your thoughts on the Seeker 4-pack? It's cool. I don't want to collect the 86 Seekers. I just finished collecting the Siege Seekers. I'm happy with them. They still hold up extremely well. I don't feel the need to spend more money, especially at that $43 a Seeker price range. The freaking disservice to Christopher Reeve and Adam West in that Flash scene. 2-8's in the chat. I know, right? Might honestly use that smirk effect for Nick Fury, honestly. So, Groove, sweet. Been wanting that figure. smoke, a chaotic wreck. Light piping's amazing. Like when TFI Creations video and rollout where Hotshot was going through depression. I remember that. And then there was like a whole thing with like first aid finding his courage. Honestly, I'm a sucker for the first aid finding his courage type stories. Those are always so heartwarming to me. And I love how he's written in Grant Man's War of the Matrix. How he's written as like this super gentle and caring guy, and he falls in love with Skyburst, and then he has some brief tension with Stormclash because she feels like he's taking her sister away, but over time she comes to realize that he would take care of her if anything ever happened to Stormclash, and Stormclash respects that. And I just thought that was really good writing. I like the Protected by Arcade Defensor. Okay, this might not be the hottest take I've had, but I'm not the biggest fan of Rise of the Beast RC's motorcycle alt mode. Looks cool, but it makes her so small for a design same size as B. True. I had a big bloat in my card when I was getting Onslaught. He was 108. Why is that? In one word, tax. Gosh darn it. I do want to get green light. Does anyone know if nail polish remover can tear down glue? Nail polish remover will take the finish off most materials. That's obviously why it's used to remove nail polish. I don't know if you can safely wear down glue without wearing down the figure's finish itself. Greenlight's having a re-release. True. It's at new prices, but, you know. Hang on. I had to reset the ad timer. So if you guys get a brief ad break, just let me know. TFI Creation Rollout Series made me love Protectobots more than other Combiner Autobots. Honestly, that's fair. Yeah, I like him. Good little dude. An older figure, but he still holds up. Honestly, the Protectobots in general, I think, hold up fairly well with modern figures, especially like First Aid and Rook. Nail polish remover is actually an amazing paint remover on softer plastic. Speaking of Ashtrain's girlfriend, Skybound Spoiler says a fan theory, Slipstream is his girlfriend. I find that cute and heartbreaking considering what happened to him. Yeah, because they established Slipstream is like dead. Because like Thundercracker was noting it. It's better than Scalper Price Fair. I got no ads now. Okay, good. Trying to catch up with the stream, it keeps buffering when I do. I'm sorry, Daniel. That may be like your internet or something. Got the pie. Get that pie, Phoenix, which I definitely don't endorse as a monetized YouTube creator. Definitely not. Wink, wink. TFI had a surgery today. That's right, for his hands. Well, I hope he's doing okay. I can imagine that is a lot on your hands. Anything is better than scalpers. Surely hope TFI will be okay. It's a special ring down under for scalpers because of his cubital tunnel and carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah. But, yeah, like Groove a lot. Definitely will use him in the War Chronicles universe at some point. So, it's gonna go... So, that is the entirety of the figures that 2A bought. So, now I'm going to show you the 7 figures that I bought. And all the figures I bought used like new, which is really nice because the comic book store, they'll open the case for you and let you feel the figures and check the prices and whatnot. But we do have Impactor. So this was the exclusive one that has the IDW helm, which I love. But the Riker's Penance Impactor I've been using has been seeing a lot of love. His legs are starting to get really loose, especially here, which I can see on this re-release they did fix that by giving him a ratcheting hip kick out, unlike his predecessor, which will keep him from having the same loose hips that my other Impactor figure developed, which I'm honestly here for. A little extra detailing with the construction stripes, that's nice. There's a Decepticon emblem on his chest, but I can always sticker that over because the comic book store had the Autobot logo version and the Decepticon logo version, and the Autobot logo version was half the price, was double the price of the Decepticon logo version. So I was like, Yeah, for that, I'll just put a sticker on the Decepticon logo and call it good. Let me catch up with the chat here. His last update was that he was at home in pain but recovering. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. I hope he's doing okay. Combiner Wars group looks pretty neat, my friend. I know how it feels. Before I even met you guys, I had mouth surgery and my tonsils removed. Woo! Yeah, mouth surgeries are not fun. What are your thoughts on Robert Kirkman's run on Skybound so far, Cronny? Woo! I have thoughts. Probably not all of them are meant to fit in this stream. I have thoughts, especially on how Alita is handled like a bratty child that's always right and always gets her way. I haven't read the latest issue yet. I do need to get on that. But all I will say is that my feelings are mixed, but mostly lean to the negative. Enjoy the stream, guys. I'm gonna head out. Alright, catch you later, 2A. Get some Z's. Guys, get War Chronicles to 3K subs. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. I'm currently sitting pretty at, oh my gosh, it's 2.7, I think? I gotta double check that. But it might be a minute until I reach 3K, and that's okay. But yes, I'm at 2.73 right now. Impactor, I'm late to the stream, but vindication for 86 Astro Train. Yeah, honestly, Stealth, your opinion was spot on. I'm sorry if I ever doubted you. I wish I got him. Why did you kill Impactor? Because honestly, he needs a little death for his crimes. Impactor, that mold is great. What up, Stealthabot? My Netflix Impactor has the ratchets too. They still wore out. Oh, I'm sure they'll wear out over time. But I've had our Impactor before this Netflix Impactor for oh my gosh, like 5 years, a little over 5 years. Filmed 2 large size films with him. He's dead, so I don't have to film a third large size film with him. Southbot came out of the shadows. Welcome. Do you recommend Vintage Shop? I'm asking because my Target and Walmart barely have an ATF. I can't speak for everyone's local vintage and comic shops, but I know ours stocks a bunch of used figures in addition to like new in-box figures. Like they had stuff we hadn't seen at Target, like Astro Train and Chronicles. They do ask a couple dollars more in market price, at least at ours, but usually that's worth it for the fact that we can't find them at Target. What can I say? I live up to my name. Do you have any blockies, TF, like the mini box? A couple of Transformers 1 ones. We didn't really kick it off into a whole collection, but you can see some of the blockies we have in my older Revenge of the 5th / May the 4th Star Wars inspired video from last year. That was basically Blocky's Revenge of the Sith reenactment. Love your series. Hang on, it's resetting. Rascal, love your series. Thank you, Rascal. My wisdom teeth removed last year. Worst pain in my life. 186 Astro Train. Robert Kirkman kind of messed up Skype. I'm not gonna lie. Kirkman doesn't even like Alita, but she's got to be included as a Hasbro mandate. Oh my gosh. Jeez, wisdom with teeth removal ain't fun. I like watching Blastaway's videos. Love Blastaway's. No, it's not. Doesn't like Alita let it get as he gives her favoritism. I probably committed a war crime this morning. Ah! It's so surreal when you guys quote like lines I've written like in stuff. Like that's honestly I'm really touched, guys. Crazy lines. A friggin' miracle I didn't get any infection or legit damage because they had to dig one out. Oh no. Ugh. I like have you done some romance in your videos. I like to call it a bit of a feminine touch. Because, I honestly think at the end of the day, those who fight fiercely love fiercely. And I like to think that people fight harder when they have someone waiting for them. But Impactor's just a man who's trying to go home. Even after all the years away from what he's known. That's now immortalized on stream by off-key singing. Oh well. I wish I got him. Hope he gets a re-release like Prowl and Skywarp. Annoyed Jasmine Lolita. It's so out of character. It is. I want to get 86 Soundwave figures. Cool. Like I said to Hasbro Monday, my Blockies Sentinel is my only Sentinel. I got my wisdom teeth removed earlier this year because they were growing in sideways. Oh my goodness. You guys have crazy wisdom teeth, honestly. Apparently mine were just kind of a straight in and out one. My mom just had to keep repeatedly telling the doctor, do not use the regular alcohol cleaner on her open wound. She is allergic. Speaking of Aaliyah, does Hasbro have something against her being in love with Alchemist? Shouldn't love be a motivator to protect your friends and family? Well, we could have a broader discussion about how a culture of individualism and person personal self fulfillment has led to people being isolated from one another and not seeking community in friends, lovers, and family. But I would say a lot of media in general has been allergic to like shipping characters, so to speak, or even giving like the hero like his usual love interest. Like even the most recent spoilers, you haven't seen Masters of the Universe movie, but even in the Masters of the Universe movie, like technically speaking, Adam doesn't end up with Tila. It's just kind of an unspoken thing he doesn't want to act on. And that Tila kind of put off by saying that he was like a brother to her. But honestly, I think it's just in like all of our movies and our shows and in our own lives, I think we prioritized what we want. We want to have our career, our successes, our lives, our happiness, our fulfillment, and we are a lot of us aren't really in a place where we want to share that with someone, or we're even worse, so to say, even worse, to offer all those things to another person because we love them. Didn't mean to get entirely philosophical on you guys tonight, but I have things to say about modern media, and that's part of the reason why I do what I do. All these companies seeing women have relationships with men as a weakness. The chat is endless. Also, I had my wisdom teeth removed years ago. Why does my stream keep lagging? Skill issue, Prince. When you have Bruticus completed, will you use Shockwave to combine with him? Maybe. Unfortunately, I can't stay in live chat long tonight. I was glad I was able to drop by MV Combiner Wars Groove, only protected by a lack. Glad I found another 86 Astro Train fan. I love your series so much. I started to focus more on their love life as well. Well, thank you, Sideswipe. Dragon Prime, it sucks. Oh, those still ship characters, not the ones we actually wanted to. Yes, it does, Ali. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. That's scratching the surface of my dental issues of a bunch of baby teeth will come out. 2 fang teeth on the right side. What? By still. I had 13 primes were named in the order they were made and eventually renamed themselves as they began to grow. As people, example, Primo was named first. That would explain the 13th name. So the 13th was just like, nah, my name is Chill. But yeah, new Impactor. We'll use him to replace my dying one. And this one's head sculpt is better anyway. If you guys know anything about me, you know my gateway into IDW was the Wreckers saga, and I freaking love it. It was like one of the best things I ever read in high school, besides like, you know, the classical literature I'm supposed to be reading like a good student. But this reminds me a lot of my childhood comics. So, yeah, nice little impactor. I will say all the figures I did manage to pick up were when I say used like new, I mean joints tight, like tighter than some of the newer figures that come out of the box. I just learned TF Energon Starscream Japanese name Night Scream. That's a sick name, honestly. Which Ultra Magnus do you use? The one I have is Classic Siege. I have Classic Siege. I've been using him still for Wrecker's Penance because I don't want to change figures mid Wrecker's Penance trilogy. But 2-8 got the 86 one like 6 months ago, and that's the one I'm using everywhere else. The Impactor head's amazing. Alrighty, I'm gonna head out. I gotta go out for a haircut. plus lots of figures to review, like 30 plus more. Bye, JJ. Will Roadbuster be cured soon? Cured is an interesting way to look at it, just because he is he's a guy who already he's a guy. So I kind of implied this with Tarantulas' line, "The Wreckers tried so hard to tame the voices." I like to think Roadbuster was already a bit of a schizophrenic, but being in like constant battle, constantly moving, kind of like calms him, kind of like focuses him. He's got like a weird blend of like ADHD and schizophrenia going on, and Tarantulas made that like way freaking worse. So I don't know that he'd be cured per se, so much as he would have to pack up all that baggage and learn to live with it again, but worse. Uh, you're right, Striker. She redeemed Alita because she perished. Now get the Marvel Comics Impactor. You must own Handsome Squidward Impactor. Speaking of high school reading, I was on I'll have Megatron 1K stream the other day. Nice being another one of these streams. I hate The Great Gatsby. I don't get the hype for The Great Gatsby, honestly. Hey, I'm not the only one who filled my reading quotas with comics. Those summer reading programs did not know what hit them, honestly. I always grew up reading Marvel comics. My libraries had some of the older Spider-Girl comics. Bring back Mayday, I beg you. That was the cutest Elseworld with Mayday, honestly. Especially the one where Mayday's like a little girl and they bring her to the X Mansion wondering if she's like technically a mutant, and she gets to like play with the kids at the X Mansion and they have like a fun X-Men adventure. That one was a fun comic. My teacher evaluation status came out. I got an excellent rating, which is the highest rank. Now, if you excuse me, I need to find a better job. Oh, congrats, Ellie. I'm happy for you. One of my love stories is Sideswipe and RC together. RC was taken reformed to KSI Widow, loyal to the way. Sideswipe's trying to bring them back. Need Bulkhead on the records in Penance too. That could be a possibility, although I'd hate to break up the band. I'd have to add Wheeljack if I didn't want to break up the band. But there's a lot of potential for a new records lineup. We know Iron Fist is not a wrecker yet, but has his similar to the comics Wreckers obsession. So that'd be a possibility that he could join the new Wreckers lineup. Cronny, the build-up to Sparks of War was some of the best build-up I've ever seen for a fan film or otherwise. Oh, well, thank you. I wanted to try testing out some ideas, like, as far as marketing goes. So I kind of researched, like, old, like, World War propaganda and, like, built off that for kind of, like, the theme of the marketing. And I'm really happy it worked out so well. I feel like it really helped engage people in the world and like made them feel like a part of it, and I'm really glad for that. Speaking of Skybound, surprised to see Thundercracker replace Slingshot. I haven't read that issue yet. I will get back to you on opinions for that once I read that issue. Thoughts on Skybound Universe? I kind of answered the question vaguely when it was asked earlier in the chat. Daniel Warren Johnson's run was fabulous. Brutal, but fabulous. Kirkman's run has a lot of flaws, probably more flaws than like good things about it. I'm furious they can't bring back Mayday, but now Miles and Spider-Man that still never happened. Wait, which Elseworlds was that? Renew Your Vows. That was the Elseworlds comic it was in. Renew Your Vows. Oh god, I heard Great Gatsby and got flashbacks. Alright, but now we're going to move on to the next figure here. So, oh gosh, I don't remember who it was, but we watched Sparks of War on Primetime Stream. He was doing his animation contest reactions. And he was asking, oh, is Senator Ratbat on the council? I was like, I don't have that figure. Guess who's got Senator Ratbat now? So now I'm just going to be like, well, maybe Senator Ratbat was on the council. He just decided not to show up to work after Sentinel died, was just like, you know what? You guys can be in special session to confront Megatron. You know, I'll just be packing the suitcase somewhere. The most brutal part is Skybound best parts. Would new records be under Chromia's command instead of Magnus or not? You know, I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of still working that out. Oh, that's not Mayday, unfortunately. I still need to read those books. Ratbat, cool. Yes. He's honestly really sick. I like him better in this mold than I like Scourge. Scourge was a little weird to me, but I feel like Ratbat wears these wings especially well. I feel like they almost give him like a faux fur cape look to him, or like a Dracula type cape. I got hit with an ad right when you responded to my Sparks of War compliment. No, bad ads. Delay ads, YouTube. Nice. What are your thoughts on the crossover TF figures? I'm thinking about the monster one. I'm not a big crossover person. I think they compromise a lot to make the alt modes look accurate. Maybe he was killed and his mind was put into a mini combat. I don't know if I'll go that way, just because that does sacrifice two usable characters for the price of one. That was honestly a thing. The one thing I hated about the Black Arachnia Alita 1 thing from TFA is they sacrificed two good female characters to make them the same female character, when both could have had interesting stories in their own rights. Hey, it's the one guy that made monoformers' lives terrible. The racist functionist. Ha, it's like Megatron told Ratbat not to show up to school the next day. More likely Shockwave did, because Shockwave was spying on the council for Megatron and was present in the session. Will G-Axis be his own bot or join the cons? He probably will join the cons. I think just because he's a pragmatic guy. And he's old enough, like he's basically been around since like the time of the primes, and he's old enough to know that when the wind changes, you just kind of pick the winning side and keep your head down until such a time as you can go back to doing the things you truly want to do. Oh yeah, I see, Jackman. You're right. You did join the server just now, so welcome in to the chaos that is the Crony server. Um, let's see. I like the Hot Wheels one. Is there an underrated DC character you like? I like Jade and Obsidian's Alan Scott's kids. Ooh. I don't know if I can say she's underrated because it's a pretty popular show, but she's never been really prominent in any other lineup, so I'm gonna say Hawk Girl, specifically Shira Hall. Like Kendra Sanders from like the one they went for in the Superman movie, she's fine, I guess. But I'm a Shira Hall stan. I always have been. I don't care about the collaborations outside Gigawatt. Fair. Kind of funny since we saw Lena and Black Arachnia and Skybound. Rip Black Arachnia. Who's Impactor's son? That one I'm keeping secret for another time. Hot-ish take. I don't like seeing Beast Wars characters with the current character roster. I prefer if they were from the future. See, I enjoy them more from the past because I think there's kind of like a very primeval aspect to them that makes me think like they feel like very, like, especially in like Rise of the Beast, like Primal, Air Razor, they all feel a lot older than the Autobots, and so I'm like, honestly, I dig the idea of them being like more from the past than the future. That's so funny, Crony. Harry Alpha Mill's the reason I grew on G-Axis. Same. I wouldn't have even considered him without Harry. I want to get the Megatron Ratbat pack, and I want to get the Orion Shockwave pack. Orion Shockwave is so worth it, even just for the Orion. He's a solid boy. We just referenced the skit with the Brum meme that used this figure. I love the Rise Tyranny 2-packs. Basically, baby's first murder pack when it comes to my AU. Please do not make me Impactor's son. No, Striker, you know you're not Impactor's son. You read the script. Your Springer is about the age of Impactor's son, give or take. So I think Impactor works out a lot of his frustrations of being an absent father on Springer. Kind of something I was talking about to CJ at some point was that Springer Springer is a character that so specifically fits into the lives of the other wreckers that they project someone else onto him. Like Springer's caution, although it's more born of being like the new guy than it is of like being a cautious person. Springer's caution reminds Warpath of Six Gun, who warned him not to pull the thread to the bomb that killed him. Springer's naivete reminds RC of Tailgate, which she explicitly did say in Wrecker's Penance Part 2. And Springer's friendliness and his sort of like protective nature reminds Javelin of Skid's. And for Impactor, Springer reminds him of the potential of what he could have had with his son. So he really does resent Springer for being like it's kind of like Epic the Musical. You're as old as he was when I left for war, kind of thing. Like you kind of look at him and he kind of looks at him and he sees like I could have had this with my kid. Instead, I'm stuck babysitting this stupid kid who is a lot like Chromia, and that frustrates me because I think Chromia is a little soft. Let's see. Where did I catch up with chat? Is Rhinox appears to gonna use his secret weapon in his butt? Nope. Is Knockout and Breakdown together if you're serious you have Breakdown in your collection? I think they're in more of a working partnership where they don't know what they are, if that makes sense. Like they kind of are locked in this state of like, oh yeah, we help each other and we know each other better than anyone else. But like it's a totally professional thing and we honestly don't know if it's gonna become anything in terms of like romance or brotherhood. They're just kind of like, oh, we work really well together. We know each other better than anyone else does. But we also don't know what to do with that because we're weirdos. And from the past, I didn't know that. So Megatron's name is from Beast Wars Megatron's reverse version of the official continuity. This is correct. So the Beast Wars Megatron in my continuity does take his name inspiration from Megatronus, but then the bucket-headed Megatron, the current Megatron, takes inspiration from the Beast Wars Megatron. He considers Beast Wars Megatron the first revolutionary, because Beast Wars Megatron was kind of a big name back then. Like that, like, because when Nova Prime came, that was considered kind of like the taming of the world, the rise of industrialization, and more organized society. And Beast Wars Megatron ended up being kind of a threat to that, like kind of a callback to more like primitive times, so to speak. But current Megatron considers Beast Wars Megatron the first revolutionary, so he named himself that way. Was Shockwave always a double agent amongst the council, or was it a recent change? I do plan to explore that at a later date. I'm currently actually developing a script for it, so I'm actually gonna leave that thread open for now. Hot Girl's an interesting one. Now Impactor really is an absent father. What I miss? Ironhide! You missed, three figures. Astro Train, 86 Astro Train, Combiner Wars Groove, and the, IDW Accurate Impactor. I kinda wish I got Breakdown Windsweeper. I only saw them in Expo and a Faraway Mall. It's been 2 years since I read the scripts to not re-spoil myself. I'm going into some parts without knowing much. Honestly, dude, I didn't. That's kind of sick, honestly, to just like try to forget what you know so you can be surprised by it. I will admit it has been a really long time. Hell, I don't even remember my lines from the last three. I'm gonna cringe so hard when I hear my voice in part 3. You still did a great job, honestly. I'm gonna take off because it's getting late. All right, bye, Daniel. What was your idea of Javelin having to deal with Shockwave to kill Impactor? May sound stupid. I think it's an alliance of convenience for her. I don't think she considers herself a Decepticon or a Shockwave like a true ally. I think she just, if she was gonna kill Impactor, she needed to be sure. She needed to be sure that the other records wouldn't come back to bite her, so to speak. So she needed Shockwave's resources and his men and everything to sort of clear the field for her, so to speak. Even though she did try her hardest to kill the other members, she did succeed in somewhat killing Warpath by virtue of, and I do kind of go back and point this out in some flashbacks, but in part 1, I specifically animated a scene where she hands him the bomb that later is defective that Warpath decides is a great bomb for self-sacrifice. So it's implied that Javelin fiddled with the bomb, made it so the timer didn't work, and was counting on Warpath being suicidal enough to just be like, well, guess I'm gonna die in an explosion like my partner before me. She winged RC, quote unquote, missing the dinosaur and hitting her, but didn't quite get that far. And then Springer still needs to be left alive, as she told Impactor, although for what purpose is yet unclear. But yeah, overall, for Shockwave and Javelin both, neither is like doing this for sides. They're doing this for convenience. Oh wow. Bye, Daniel. Screw this damn challenge. No more delays. Can't you guys see we're being played? So Impactor resents Springer because Springer's a reminder of his son. Dang, that makes Impactor even more tragic. Good. Good. Knockdown breakdown, just friends. Good, good. OMG, I need to pick up a Kingdom Primal and Megatron by the Beast Wars. So Megatron names a giant game of telephone. Yes. So Springer and Arcee are the only survivors of the wreckers. They're definitely cooked. I like Legacy. Chromia. My prediction is Javelin will perish in the last part. Perhaps. We'll see. My opinion, Jazz would be Prime's right hand. I think he would know about him, hold Prime and Alita together and tell no one about it. And be like the Captain Rex to their Anakin and Padme, just stands outside the door like a true bro. So you got 86 Astral Train? Nice, how you like him? He's pretty decent, honestly. I think they poured the majority of their engineering into his alt modes and left the robot modes an afterthought, but he's not the worst. Thanks, just weird hearing myself when I can hear I overdid things. So, Knockout and Breakdown, it's like self-discovery? Kind of, yeah. Asking Shockwave for help is a death warrant for Javelin. Yeah, you never know. I think I responded to one of the comments in the comment section of that video saying Javelin did get what she wanted, but she still made a deal with the devil, and the devil still... and she still owes that devil a favor. The Scourge mold, right? Yes, this is the Scourge mold. And I think he wears it better, not gonna lie. Like, I don't mind the Scourge mold. I don't think he stands up super well, and his legs are not superposable. But this guy's a senator. He's gonna do most of his talking with his hands. Do a lot of little lying here. So you don't really use your legs to lie. So I'm like, he can stand statically. Hope Javelin gets more screen time. She definitely will. Telephone revolutionary. I love Astro Train a lot. Can't wait to animate him. I have questions. How do you deal with writer's block? I get that all the time. Any advice? A couple of things. First of all, and many great writers have said this before me, write something down. Doesn't have to be like a fully fledged plot. You don't have to write like a scene a day. Just write something down. What I usually do is I typically go into Google Docs. I use headers to outline what the major scenes are. And then I put in parentheses kind of what the major thing is. And I like to write it super casually, just so it kind of jars me back to like, because usually doing something jarring, you either have to do something that's so repetitive in that moment that it gets you in the mood, so to speak, or you have to do something so jarring to your usual thinking patterns that it gives you new ideas. So, like, in terms of giving new ideas, I would say be extremely casual writing down your ideas. Use, like, cringe internet slang or, like, whatever kind of slang you find, like, super cringe. Use that. Like, I wrote at one point based on an Obi-Wan meme. In one script, I wrote a thing that says Optimus stops and sees Megatron standing in the middle of the battlefield like a glitch out for blood. And honestly, that works extremely well. And I also can confirm what they say, that if you do mundane tasks like brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand, it can sometimes break you out of like this sort of routine that's in your writing block, if that makes sense. So like brushing your teeth with your left hand, maybe like eat a meal with your left hand, or if you're left-handed, do the right hand. whatever your non-dominant hand is, just do that once in a while to kind of break sort of that mundane routine you have. And then if you already have your ideas and you're struggling with like focus or commitment to those ideas, put together a playlist of all the songs that you feel like embody your ideas, and train your brain like a Pavlov experiment to register being in the mood to do the thing, to write the script, to shoot the stop motion. Train your brain to associate that music with doing that thing. And eventually you'll kind of go sleeper mode when you hear that playlist and you can just do the thing. Knockout and Breakdown will always be brothers to me. Surprised they didn't consider Knockout a Stunticon. I don't think. I feel like Knockout thinks he's too good for the Stunticons. Like he feels like he thinks he's an upscale Stunticon. Mikey, hi, hey Mikey. I have a problem. I write too many scripts at once. That's the problem. I feel you, Ironhide. My friend just gave me full permission to do side stories for his AU. I'm gonna go crazy. Hey, congratulations, Deadeye. If I brush with my dominant hand, my toothbrush would be in my nose. I like the Rat Bat figure. I may get it. You should. I was lucky enough to get this from the comic store loose. He was honestly only $40, and he's in like used like new condition. Because I didn't really care about the minor Megatron, because he's not to scale with 86. So I really only wanted the Rat Bat. So $40, I'll take it. So that is Le Rat Bat. Next, I'm going to show you Siege Blue Streak. Now, I don't know a lot about Blue Streak, but I have read a lot of fics on AO3 where Prowl and Blue Streak are like literal brothers. And it's, first of all, it's a lot of good angst for Prowl. And second of all, it opens up the opportunity to have like more familial dynamics. And they could say like, oh, they're brothers. And you would look at them and you'd be like, yeah, these guys are definitely brothers. But anyway, he's actually really sick. I never got the Siege Prowl, but his little mold mate, his bro here, Blue Streak, he looks very nice. A lot better QC than Barricade, which is only one of the Siege mold that I had. Obviously, still clear plastic legs. But they're pretty solid clear plastic legs. The hips could use a teeny bit of floor polish in them to just tighten them up, but that's pretty par for the course with this mold. The rest of it's really solid. Head sculpt is amazing. That kind of metallic-y paint app is really nice. But yeah, super fun figure. Did not expect to like him as much as I did, but I saw him in person and was like, have to have him. Oh, thank you. I'll try that out right now. I have a few ideas, and after that, I'll use all that that I have left. Let's see. Damn ads. Sorry, Jackman. Optimus vs. Megatron, while Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica is perfect. Blue Streak is from Praxis. Yes. Can Blue Streak bully Prowl? Maybe, honestly. I'm debating if, like, Blue Streak should be, like, close to Prowl, or if it's, like, one of those, Junk Heap gave Hot Rod up for unwilling adoption type things. Like, did Blue Streak, like, abandon Prowl at some point when they were kids? Or, like, you know, they could either have a really wholesome relationship or it could be the saddest thing on planet Earth. I'm open to both. Why couldn't you give Megatron Nightbird a love story like Prime Nolita? Give him his happy ending. There might still be room for a drone Nightbird to kind of make him realize who she is, because she still has feelings, as you can see. And not too many spoilers, but I think we'll discover later Shockwave has a talent for creating artificial Cybertronians that truly mimic Cybertronians down to their very sparks. I'm writing Stars Above and Remnants of the Past Overthrown. I have an idea for Aerial Bots versus Megatron. Nice. My Knights of Unicron do a similar one for Whom the Bell Tolls. May have Blue Streak suspect Prowl, lol. My Blue Streak has a weird issue where his legs don't tab together in alt mode, otherwise he's great. Because Megatron doesn't need a love story sideswipe. Megatron, to me, is like the epitome of like a loved and lost type story. So I feel like there's sometimes where when people love and then they lose who they love, they kind of resolve that like the whole world will pay for their pain. Like you think about Anakin Skywalker, even the fear of losing who he loved because he was so attached to Padme as a piece of his life more than Padme as a person, that he literally murdered children in hopes of keeping her alive, despite the fact that she would have never wanted him to murder children. He doesn't consider that. He considers what she is to him, and so he crashes out. And I think Megatron's the same way about Nightbird. I do think they love each other, but I think Megatron is one of those people who is so attached to the idea of who the people he loves are to him, what they do for him, how they make him feel, that to have them die or, like, let's say in Orion Pax's case, betray him, he can't stand it. He crashes out. Beg your pardon, Prince. It's interesting you did the Megatron Nightbird shit. You heard me, Drama King. Have an outline for my story helps. I approach my story like TF07 game where you plays Autobots and Decepticons separate campaigns. Funny, since I had Sideswipe fight Megatron early this year. Coincidence? I think not! Mooshirk is clean. He is so clean. Honestly, I do really love this guy. And it might be time to read some more the Dotsons are brothers fanfics on AO3. That's what I think. For anyone who knows Mass Effect, would you say is a group of characters similar to the Normandy crew? Am I overthinking? That's just Optimus's crew already. Never played Mass Effect, couldn't tell you. Nightbird and Megatron's underrated, needs to be explored more. It's literally based on like some throwaway lines from G1. But then again, what isn't based on a throwaway line from old stuff? Heck, the Clone Wars was based on a throwaway line from Obi-Wan in A New Hope in 1977. Could be the other way around. Prowl starts prioritizing his role and they gradually become more distant. Perhaps. But we have to remember WCU Prowl starts out as the very abused secretary to Sentinel Prime. So one has to wonder, like, where was his brother in all this? It's not like you just meet your brother later in life and you're like, I have a brother? Unless it's the Parent Trap. So what happened to separate the two of them? Like, did something happen to Blue Streak and he comes back later? Like, did they have a falling out prior to that? Like, I'm still working out the kinks on this. Right now, I'm playing Overwatch, playing the character Bastion. Another player who's playing Bastion just killed me. The one scene, Make the Youngest Perish, is one of the only good things about Star Wars I normal, I promise. Play Mass Effect, the remastered trilogy is bundled together and they're amazing. Wait, seriously? Clone Wars exists because of that? Is that OG Clone Wars or 2008 Clone Wars? Just the concept of Clone Wars in general was based on the scene in Obi-Wan's hut where Luke goes, "You fought in the Clone Wars," and Obi-Wan's like, "Yes, I was once a Jedi Knight, same as your father. He was the best star pilot in the galaxy, a cunning warrior, and a good friend." That is the first mention of Clone Wars, all the way back in 1977, and that is what became all the Clone Wars we know and love today. My version of Megatron's the mindset that he was forced into poverty in the mines, was made to suffer by people out of his control, so now he's the mindset he'll never suffer again. And that is extremely common for, like, storylines of, like, characters who used to be slaves and whatever. Like, let's think about, like, the new X-Men season. Like, the mindset of Apocalypse is that he was a slave, he will never be enslaved again. I know there were throwaway lines, but I'm a sucker for villain couples. I agree. I think my favorite villain couple so far has been Bludgeon and Filch because I don't write them doing a ton. Like, mostly Filch appears as like kind of the herald of Bludgeon. Like, if she passes over you, starts circling you, you know Bludgeon's coming to kill you. So I think that's just like a really sick kind of Bonnie and Clyde type dynamic they have. And there's not a ton of interaction between them in Blade of the Demon, except like Bludgeon like rubbing her wing, calling her darling. I like to think Bludgeon is more the flirt in the relationship, and Filch is more dry, more of a doer, less of a talker. And then, meanwhile, Bludgeon's like, I wrote you a poem, my love. I've never seen Star Wars. I have no idea what you're talking about. Ironhide. Gosh dang it, man. If YouTube wouldn't take down the stream, I would stream Star Wars just so you could watch Peak. Thinking about story with Sunstreaker and Sideswipe to show how they grow. Sunstreaker's older bro, Sideswipe's little bro. Aw, that's cute. I headcanon it the other way around, but I'd be curious to see how that works. My concept for a Transformers game would be a mix between Arkham Batman gameplay, but Devil May Cry, kind of. Ooh. What I miss? Sunstreaker miss! Not much, honestly. You missed about one, two, three, four of the new figures from the comic book store haul. My version of Megatron is based on a Biha Fowler's backstory from Blue Eyed Samurai, if you've seen it. I haven't, but I really do. I feel like inspiration from like samurai and classic Asian American like film tropes is underrated. Like I think I told someone once that RC has a lot of similar traits of the Asian American trope of the vengeful daughter of the samurai. Like there's a lot of games and movies where the warrior or the samurai is murdered and then their daughter basically goes on a revenge quest with like her super cool samurai skills, except she's not avenging her father, she's avenging Tailgate in a way. And then within that, you also have sort of like a Shang-Chi inspired thing where she's like fighting her father, and like her father raised her to become this like warrior weapon, but then also tried to kill her, which is very like Shang-Chi slash like cruel master type archetypes. Discord Star Wars movie night would be sick. It would, honestly. I did figure out a way to screen share Disney Plus without the black screen. Wink, wink. Definitely do not endorse this as a monetized creator on YouTube. Wink, wink. I'm a Marvel person. I don't know why I love seeing Bludgeon with Octopunch and Stranglehold. Mayhem Attack Squad, who worship Unicron, the OG Marvel comics. Story would be dark, but the first mission is Decepticons pulling at Chicago on Washington, D.C. Dang. That's a mask off right there. I can see Sideswipe going through a reckless character arc, especially if Sunstreaker dies and he was close to him. See, my kind of headcanon for like the dynamic of what Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, what it could be like, is if like they didn't really have a parental figure in their lives or were like orphaned or something. I see Sideswipe as like being the parentified older sibling who is a bit reckless, but he's also the super kind of serious one. And then Sunstreaker kind of copes by being like pretty like jokey and vapid and kind of like the little sibling princess that was so sheltered from tragedy by their older sibling that they don't take anything seriously because the privilege they had of having a sibling who cared enough to protect them like that. So that's kind of the dynamic I see between them. And I can see like they're getting to a boiling point where Sideswipe is done having to protect Sunstreaker from the world because Sunstreaker never appreciates him. Each character would have separate special abilities like in Devastation. Nice. With a G2 inspired paint job for sides. Granny, his backstory is insanely dark. I can say it if you want, but you don't want spoilers, I understand. I think no spoilers right now, but if you want to mention it in the spoiler chat on Discord, and if I choose to unspoiler it, I will do so. I asked All Hail Megatron 1K this. I was curious if you use the flanger effect for your stuff. I do, yes. I use flanger, and then on certain ones I want to sound really G1, I use the chorus flanger effect and set it to thick chorus. And it adds a little, just a very tiny touch of that echoey quality of a G1 transformer. What's your favorite version of Optimus Prime? Mine is Cybertron. Favorite figure is 86. Favorite version in media is TFP. I still need Sunstreaker. I saw him in the store. I should pick him up. Sunstreak missed. Now we're cooking up something. Optimus would get Megatron's arm at the end of Act 1's The Last Resort and Battle Arc, wreak havoc. 1v1's Devastator, huge blast uncombines them. Do you have an idea of adding Stunticons to your AU? Hi, Gilligarin. I don't think I've seen you before. I actually have added them already. Not as Menasor, but I have added them. I'm going to recommend you to... Let me pull it up here on my channel. But I am going to recommend you to... And I'm not... Nobody in the chat spoil this for him if he hasn't seen it, which I'm going to assume he hasn't. But I'm going to recommend you to this fun little story I like to call Left in the Dust, a Hot Rod short. This one features all 5 of the Stunticons in it, and this was kind of their pseudo introduction. They're definitely like the low rent bullies of the Decepticons. They will take your lunch money. But yes, that is the video I'd recommend for you, Gilligarin, or is it Heligarin? I don't know, but I have introduced the Stunticons in my AU. I would highly encourage you to go watch this. Maybe bring a box of tissues for you if this triggers you in any way. But yeah, we're going to go back to the camera. I'm going to catch up. Keep giving them parents. They're not humans, Cronny. Yes, but every small being needs some kind of figure to help mentor them and guide them. They don't even have to be parents in a biological sense, but there has to be some kind of structure in which the young are raised up to learn that is not just like some kind of, oh, I just grew up and I learned things by watching other people. That does not create a sense of safety in a child. First Impact are now my favorite brother duo. Cronny's the master queen of angst, y'all. Thanks. I found my way onto AO3 at the tender age of 18, and that has been a major source of that. My bludgeon is like a version of Tarn. Megatron took him as an apprentice, like how Drift calls Prime Sensei. Comes the leader of the cons after Megs dies. Nice. Speaking of villain couples, Mega and Giga. You know that in TF Master Force they form Overlord? No, I didn't know that. No TF character is safe from Cronny's angst masterpiece. Through the rest of the game, Prime starts losing himself, and depending on players' decisions, Prime could snap back to reality. What? There goes gravity. Or fully embraces evilness. Did you see Doomsday trailer? Yes, I did. I did mention my thoughts at like the beginning of the stream on it. It feels like someone's taking their action figures and putting them in scenarios where they fight, and they say it's for the plot, but it's just because they want to see Iron Man fight Raphael, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. First boss fight is Thrust fighting B, and Alita's a major character. Hell yeah. Loki might steal one of Apocalypse's lines from Megatron, the one about only a coward feels mighty stepping on ants or whatever. G2 breakdown, nice. Though mine is a female called Boomerang on my AU. I did notice that. That's really neat, actually. I also think combination between Devastation, Arkham Games, Devil May Cry would be best description for my game. That's awesome, dude. One of these days you gotta pitch your idea to somebody. To be fair, that's any Marvel crossover. True. My version of Tarn is basically Eversur Assassin from 40k, which is basically a guy who you send if you want everyone dead. No disintegrations. Solus adopted RC in my last film, and I like when I can do parental figures. Yeah, the story of the twins, they act like in the story, and a long time before they start to take things serious, Sunny stopped Carrie. That was the look side, so it became more serious. Lita would be based loosely on her Power of the Prime's design. Good for her. Speaking of which, so I'm gonna let Blue Streak tell you guys goodbye. So, admittedly, I have a problem. 2-8 has mentioned this already. But I have a problem, and it's called Elita 1. This is now my 4th Elita 1 figure. I got the Siege one. At some point, I may swap out... Like, I'm not going to swap out Power of the Prime's Elita, because there's an universe reason for her becoming a Jet. But I may swap out pre-Jet Elita with this one at some point. So, Prince, now you can say that Elita will be swapped out as many times as Soundwave has been swapped out. So Soundwave has not been singled out for figure swapping. Design-wise, characters, the 3-0 MDLX figures mixed between live-action and anime. See ya, Bluey. Hello, Netflix Alita. Yeah, she's honestly lovely. The only thing I will say is I wish they carried the beige all the way up instead of having pure white mixed with beige. It does make it look like she's yellowing a bit. But I do, controversial take, I do love the Earthrise RC mold. I do, excuse me, love it, especially because it's extremely lightweight and is really good for animating in any kind of action scenarios because it won't weigh down the stands. I'm gonna raise the camera up a little bit, make her stand up fully. But yeah, good ankle articulation, thigh rotation, etc. Her shoulders don't have quite the same range of movement as RC's because RC's are a completely round joint. Alita's is not, but you can kind of cheat that. There's just some ranges of motion that won't be, mostly kicking out fully to the side. But she's got a little bit of wrist, not rotation, but like this little hinge here, which is neat. I will say this over RC, she does have up-down movement on her head, which is something RC can't say. Let's catch up with the chat again. You're a familiar face. DJ Khaled, another one. That Alita fits nicely with Earthrise Prime. Yes, I don't actually have Earthrise Prime. I skipped straight to 86. I prefer Combiner Wars aerial bots. Hey, Cronny, it's okay having 4. I have 3 versions of Sideswipe. I'm looking for more versions. Username checks out. If it was all beige, it would look like it came from a smoker's house. You keep switching them on purpose just for my brain to malfunction. This is correct, Prince. I do this all to spite you. I think I saw that Alita when I was in Vegas. Yeah, she's a really great Alita, honestly. The guy at the comic book store, I think, was definitely testing my knowledge. I think he wanted to see if a real girl actually knew like the lore and what all the figures were. I was like, oh, could I see the Siege Alita? He's like, oh yeah, that one. You mean the Netflix Alita? And I was like, oh yeah, the Walmart exclusive Netflix Alita because they made the show and then made her a figure after the show because the show model wasn't transformable. And he was like, oh. Then after that, he started talking to me like I knew what he was talking about instead of like trying to explain things like I didn't know what he was talking about. So that was neat. But you know, I can understand there's definitely a lot of fans, especially female fans, who can be little bit of like, oh, I love Transformers. My favorite character is Bumblebee, and that's all I know about Transformers. Which nothing wrong with that, but there's some people who like fandoms for the aesthetic, Grogu fans, and there's some people who like truly love to get into the fandom and like know the things. Can't tell right now because I don't know where mine is, but your shoulders might be backwards. Huh, interesting. I always thought the bigger pin, because there's a smaller pin on the shoulder. I can't really show you, but there's a smaller pin on the back of the shoulder and the bigger pin's on the front. At least in my experience with the Earthrise RC, the bigger pin is the front of the joint. I own Siege. Same, I also own Siege Optimus. And we're getting Prince and Cronny rivalry before the Batman Part 2. We'll get GTA 6 before the Batman Part 2, which is crazy. LARPers. Yes, Striker, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. I understand there's a lot of people, especially women, who can be kind of fandom LARPers, so I can understand why the guy at the comic book store was a little bit like, but do you know ball? And I was able to show him, yes, I do, in fact, know ball. Jackman, I like Wheeljack. Username checks out, Jackman. Like, why wouldn't Jackman like Jackie? But I do like Wheeljack. He's voiced in my series by Charlie Erickson / Sput Convoy. He's a great voice actor. You should check him out. He also voices Tarantulas in my series, which is also an excellent voice of his. Decepticons in my story are a mafia that report directly to Megatron. He is their biological father. Fair, very G1 of you. The Decepticons are Motormaster, Off-Road, Wild Rider, Dragstrip, and Dead End. Okay, so Megatron is basically the dad that lets his kids run through Walmart and, like, destroy things and take stuff off the shelves. That's basically what the Decepticons and Megatron are. I love your series so much I made Solus and Megatron as BOP's actual parents. by being created. And yes, he was the 13th Prime, just reborn, but he only remembers Solus as his mom. My favorite Transformer is Excellion. I know he's not popular. See, because I haven't seen any of the Armada trilogy, my only familiarity with Excellion, which granted is a good version of Excellion, is in Crosshair Productions' Ascension Verse tie-in movie, Target Alpha Trion. Quick Google search, yes, small pin should be facing forward. Oh well. I'm not hugely concerned about where the shoulders are. Also, the original solicitations have her with the artsy shoulders. Really? Yes, I see. It's Wheelie in time. Wheelie. I don't know what that was, LMAO. But yes, so I definitely have a little bit of an Alita addiction. But it's okay because girl bots. In case you couldn't hear me, I said girl bots, not girl boss. I do not endorse girl boss. She's a sick figure, and I like her, and her little horns are adorable. I saw her in person and could not resist. And then the final three figures I'm going to show you as one after I catch up with the chat. Some of us like Bumblebee, others create and name their own universe cluster. Excellion's just a repaint. I don't think he was a character in the show. Oh, okay. But I'm going to show you my last three figures together. A little bit side-eye scrunny. I found this sucker at the comic book store. And he is awesome. Say hello to Refractor. And this is the full set Refractor that comes with the additional camera accessories and the multicolored refractors. So I'm going to take a quick moment to transform him. So I'm going to send you back to the title screen while I do that, so you don't have to embarrassingly watch me fumble in front of the camera when it's easier to just take it off camera. Girl boss are cringe. Embrace well-written female characters. I agree, Ali. Embrace the well-written female characters. Ooh, oh wow. Yes, this one I feel like this was the one I got the best deal on. They were selling them as a set, all three for $60. So essentially I paid $20 per reflector figure, and that's not even the going price of what this set was when it first came out. Definitely not the going price of what this set has become, especially as this has gotten a lot rarer. Yes, Gilliger and BB and Megatron is good. He's extremely good. I like 86 Meg slightly better, just because, especially in the pre-war stuff, I wanted him to look a bit more blocky, a bit more like he could potentially have been a hero in another life. But BB and Megs is extremely good. I think Excellion does appear in a few Cybertron Fun Pub comics. Excellion, my AU, is a racer who wants to protect Velocitron. Refractor, not Reflector. I keep calling him Refractor because that's what the package called him. I assume because they couldn't get licensing for Reflector. But Hasbro lost trademark to Reflector. Yes, okay, thank you, Striker, for also explaining that. I have to go. My planet needs me. Have a nice night or day. It was nice talking to you all. Night, Drama King. Have a good night. That's cute. You used TF1 Alita for past Alita. Back when Siege was coming out, I was only able to get my hand on 2 reflectors, so I couldn't make the camera. No! Sunstreakamus, I'm so sorry. Let's see. They do that a lot. I have over 1,000 OCs. I had to rework some. Fair, honestly. They even lost the trademark to friggin' Weirdwolf. Who the heck would use Weirdwolf that they would need to, be upset about not having the trademark? I understand losing Hot Rod or Breakdown. I'm starting to think of making a female bot film like Panda Jack's series The Heist, but with the female bots. Ooh, yes. If you haven't watched Grantman Filmmakers Zeta Squad yet, watch that. That is the epitome of female-led team series type stop motions. honestly, in general, especially considering he is a guy, Grantman is very, very good at writing women. And I've actually had the privilege of playing RC in his War of the Matrix, and he writes them very well. He doesn't ever give them throwaway lines. The women interact with each other and with the men extremely well, and he's not afraid to write romance. So I shout out Grantman. I extremely respect him for that. Catch up with chat. Hasbro tried not to lose trademark names challenge impossible. I'll get that last guy one day. How the F do you lose the trademark to freaking Weird Wolf? I have 0 reflectors. I have PTSD when you switch BB Megatron to 86. Prince, we already established this. I do this specifically to piss you off. And I will change another figure on you just to piss you off. Well, while I'm at it, I might even kill Bumblebee. Okay, so I got one reflector transform. I still have to learn which one's which with all their names. Because since I got the ones with unique colors, I have no excuse for not learning their names. Did you ever hear the Godzilla Transformers? Yes, I have. Four lovers. Oh my gosh, Sunstreaker, you're quoting my most out of context line there. I'm getting inspiration from that as well. I watched the Zeta Squad movie, loved it. I know, literally one of the best things ever. And then he had to go and like throw a brick at me personally, and also everyone else who watched his previous seasons of War of the Matrix, and show like at the end, like, oh look, Chromia and Ironhide were actually married when he was controlled by Unicron and freaking crushed his wife's face. Prince Productions, no. I try to make sure to give female characters natural dialogue, but I struggle writing everyday stuff for them because I don't have good points of reference RL. Well, if you ever need any points of reference writing women, let me know. As a woman, I might be able to offer some tips. You can always tag me in Writer's Room on the Discord and see if I have any critiques or pointers for your dialogue. You could also ping like maybe like CJ or Poppy or one of the other girls in the Discord. Get multiple women's perspectives. Okay, I've got another one of the reflectors transformed. I've got one more to go. Honestly, half the battle is getting like all the additional kibble off. And pardon, Ironhide did what? Crushed Chromia's face while in the thrall of Unicron. Ironhide crushed Chromia? No, poor Ironhide. Yes, okay, so in like the finale of Grantman's War of the Matrix Season 2, which did come out like almost like, gosh, this was years ago. I remember because TQ is still upset at me for giving him spoilers for that because he hadn't seen something that came out years ago. But Chromia and Ironhide were a super cute couple in Chromia and Ironhide were a super cute couple in the War of the Matrix Season 2, and Grantman establishing they were married in the prequel show made it even more sad because basically what happened is the Autobots encountered Unicron, and Unicron mind controlled several of the Autobots, including Ultra Magnus and Ironhide. And Chromia tried to talk down Ironhide, and Ironhide basically grabbed her up by the head and crushed her head. And then when Unicron was defeated and he realized what he had done, he secluded himself to be depressed on an unknown planet, and we haven't heard from him since. Bluefinder is blue with gray, Spyglass is blue with blue, Spectro is red. Awesome. Well, thank you, Striker. I appreciate that. Okay, so blue with gray, Viewfinder. Blue with blue, Spyglass. Spectro is red. Prince in Season 2, it wasn't good. What happened with Ironhide? I like the idea of Reflector's box mode being sort of a deployed mode, so there are ships that fly around with a whole squadron of reflectors that can be deployed. CJ says, thank you for the rec, Crony. That's right, I forgot you guys were in the Nightboat VC. Are there any same-sex couples you want to add to the War Chronicles? I honestly don't know. Like especially from a representation standpoint, like I definitely wouldn't want to force it. I don't know. That'd definitely be something to see about. I feel like a dumbass asking questions like that. My biggest worry is that I write how they speak, but I'm paranoid. How do I do that for everyone? It's hard. It's hard. You gotta work with it. I want to sound natural, like it was actually spoken by a person. Yeah, and you want to find a good medium between sounding natural and the dialogue serving a purpose. Like, because no matter what, the dialogue should still tell you something important about the character, even if it's not actually furthering the plot physically. Uh, I've never seen it. What do you mean he kills Chromia off? What? Dude, you've had years to watch this and I can't believe I just spoiled it for another person. I remember getting this reflector set a couple years ago. They're a great little trio. Spyglass, the all blue one, chest snapped off. I can still plug it in if I'm careful. Glyph and Tap Out. I forgot about them. Unicron being that much of a threat is crazy. He's so underrated. Okay, camera is back. So let me refer back to Striker's message. We have Viewfinder, Spyglass, Spectro. View, okay. Viewfinder, Spyglass, Spectro. Viewfinder, Spyglass, Spectro. Okay. I'm gonna drill that into my brain. Honestly, the ways I found to write representation is that they're there and draw attention like they're just normal people. Fair. Connie, what's your opinion on Panda Jack's Transformers Annihilation series? Love the action. There's some really good dramatic sacrifice moments, good music, good production quality. I will be entirely honest, I do think Panda Jack suffers from being a wee bit edgy in his writing, especially in terms of dialogue. I think he tends to write certain characters overly casual, or insert more human curse words when not necessarily needed. I feel like his dialogue feels the least mature, despite the fact that he's a pretty mature animator. Like as far as like how far he's come in his animation, the dialogue feels like it was written by a 15-year-old who just discovered what it meant to be alternative. It's cannon fodder. I'm trying to fix my Autobots. Basically, how should they work? Should I make their elite guard the CIA? Oh, I feel like the elite guard is a lot more visible than the CIA. The CIA works in the shadows. It's tragic what happened to Ironhide and Chromia in that show. For real, though. But, yeah, I do like these little goobers a lot. I think their arms are funky, especially how the shoulder doesn't kick out, like the joint just kicks out from under the shoulder. And the double jointed arms are a little weird because they bend in a weird place, but overall, it's fantastic that like all of these figures combine and then you just add a couple of extra accessories to make them a camera, but they're all still the same base figure, which is nice. Unless my let's see. Are we talking about the same animator? Yes, Prince, we're talking about the same animator. Lovely animation, lovely production quality, lovely music, effects, etc. Really hate his dialogue. Gotta go see Bye Streakmas. Feel most AU's RC is gay and homage to IDW. I feel like it's the only one where they committed to putting RC into a relationship and paid homage to Sue Blue herself. Have you ever seen My Adventures with Superman? I saw season 1. I still gotta catch up. My sides of my series like DC Red Hood. Ooh, Red Hood, huh? Get Citizens out safely, blame himself for his brother's death. No! I want to get Reflector. You should, he's awesome. He's also probably expensive. Like, I was just lucky at the comic book store. had him and was selling him for a pretty decent price. Because otherwise I wouldn't even consider like going to eBay and trying to get him used from some guy on eBay. W comic book stores, because comic book stores will like open the display case and let you like feel the figures and see what kind of condition they're in. So that's extremely nice. But DC mentioned yes. But that was the last of my figures. Actually, was the whole reflector bunch here. And I'll kind of just put the rest of these guys up for like a quick summary of the figures. Got a lot of purple back here. And again, the Decepticons are purple, so there's that. It's crazy how the size of a deluxe has shrunken so much. Look at that groove next to those reflectors. Keep in mind, Impactor is also a deluxe class figure. Okay, we kind of got them all fitting in there together. Reflectors are good. I went to my first comic book store this month. Oh my lord, the prices. No! That's nice. I'm not a fan of same-sex relationships because I feel like they should be for an 18-plus audience. That's just me. They're not my cup of tea. They had Marvel Legends Blade I wanted, but $90? Oh my gosh. $90. Yeah, you just gotta find the right kind of comic book store. The kind who will just like kind of give it like what they think it's worth, or they'll just give like the person who sold it to them a fair price, or they'll get a lot for like a cheap amount, and they'll sell the figures accordingly. But if you get like those people who like look up the prices on eBay and they're like, oh my gosh, I saw this one selling for $100, and then they put $100 price tag on there, then you gotta be like, nah, bro, if that was the case, I would have just stayed on eBay. But yeah, I do like our local comic book store. I do think they have a really good selection. There are some rarer ones that are still pretty expensive, like the Earthrise Prowl, ridiculously expensive. But yeah, so I was happy to show off these figures with you guys, do a chill stream that was almost freaking 2 hours, actually. I spent a long time yapping. Wait, another impactor? Yes, because the one I have is dying and his legs are like noodles. But yeah, so honestly, I'm probably going to wrap up here in a minute. I didn't anticipate the stream going longer than an hour and a half, and yet I am a yapaholic, so that's to be expected. So, in summary, we have Blue Streak, Impactor, Astro Train, Viewfinder, Spectro, Spyglass, Ratbat, Groove, and Elita 1. Yap sessions run strong. Yes, the Yap sessions are running extremely strong. It's a problem. I need to stop. I need to get help. Go to Yapaholics Anonymous. We like to yap, and well, thank you, Striker. Love to stay. Have to take my brother to his school center. See ya. That's right. I forgot it's daytime where you are. That's weird. But I'm gonna head back to this screen, and I'm gonna tell you guys good night. Till all are one. I will see you guys at another stream. Hopefully my wallet forgives me for the purchases made here today, but I don't have any regrets. I'm happy with the figures, and I'm happy I got to show them to you guys. So have a good night, guys. Don't forget to like the stream. Really helps the stream metrics out. Sorry, I know the ads were a little invasive. I tried to put them off as long as possible with my little delay ads button. Alita Holic,